And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Whew, hope you enjoyed that. Hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OSC as we returned with our second half of the broadcast. We just wrapped up with our first two matches, and we have two more coming up ahead of us. We have a TvZ between BabyMarine and Mixu, and a PvP between Jumi and Arog Fire. Here we go. I look forward to it just because it does feel like these players are a little bit closer in skill here. You know, no shame to either Lemon or Arch, but they were up against some of the titans in SE2, where Spirit is literally top 3, arguably top 2 Terran in Europe. They have Solar as well, who has a legacy behind him, so it would have been difficult for anyone to go up against either of those players. Likewise, though, we have these two kind of younger faces to the scene. I mean, they've been around for a long time. You know, Mixu and BabyMarine, they've been around for years at this point, but in the grand scheme of SE2, they're a little bit newer to the pro scene. And likewise, I want to say that they're relatively close in skill as well. We were able to feature Mixu earlier today. For those that were here for the Pegasaur kind of Wings of Liberty event, we did have Mixu featured in the finals even against Dark. BabyMarine, he was happily, you know, just chilling, just sleeping, just enjoying his time, focusing on Legacy instead of Wings of Liberty, and yeah, we'll see how they compare. We shall see. Let's go. So jumping into game number 1. Ooh, gonna be on Whispers of Gold. Oh, hello, login unknown. Gah, baby, gah. And here we go. We're jumping in and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Whispers of Gold. We have the Finnish Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Mlem. It is Mixu. Mlem, just like Clem. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Italian Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Streamer Zone. It is BabyMarine. Here we go. Oh, the ZVT is upon us. And BabyMarine, again, it's great to see him back once again. There are certain players that were active, of course, coming into 2020, into 2021, into 2022. But in 2024, BabyMarine, he also stepped away from the game. A couple of players, actually, around this level. If you recall, Akedon, the Spanish Terran player, also, he silently retired. BabyMarine stopped playing alongside, another comes to mind, Cuckoo, the remaining Terran. He also silently stepped away. Like, I don't think there was like any kind of big announcement, but they essentially retired, as they have not been around for a very long time. Even Battle B as well was becoming a little bit less active, so I was concerned that BabyMarine was gonna be like Akedon or gonna be like Cuckoo and just kind of, you know, slowly step away, and he did for a time. And then he came back, you know, similar to Arog Fire. Arog Fire is just like them, where he was gone for a good portion of the year, and then he came back and suddenly became active again. Suddenly became active once again. He joined Streamer Zone. I mean, that's a part of it, I believe. You know, Streamer Zone, they did pick him up alongside Jumi, alongside Girl, alongside many others. This was back in like November-ish, like November, December of last year. And even slightly before that, BabyMarine, he was being active once again. So great to see him return to us, and we'll see how BabyMarine does compare, as he has been on the rise. He's been very active over the past couple months, has been improving a lot. He's back. BabyMarine is back. As he does move out. So far, standard opener, Rax Expand here, going for his Reaper across the map. Likewise, Mixu back at home, going for his own Hatch Gas Pool. So far, so good. As Reaper comes in to dance with the army to potentially get a drone kill, he shouldn't get a worker. Oh my god, oh my god. As the drone gets very low, Alas does survive. Don't scare me like that. 3 HP. He wants it. Oh my god. He wants it. He does want it. He won't quite get it though. Mixu, he does hold on. Zones away the Reaper. Jesus. As Mixu, he will maintain his economy. You can see BabyMarine. Oh, the micro. He's zooming. Is denied, is zoned back, and Mixu will take a third. His third base is on the way, maintains his drones, saturates, getting into link speed, pulls out of gas, and now we can settle in towards that mid-game. Meanwhile, across the map, it is going to be a third CC before Starport. Economic build here by the Terran. So standard build out of the Zerg, economic build here by BabyMarine. From here, this can lead into Reactor to Reaper Reactor to Hellion into those Banshees. Meanwhile, both tumors go down. Very nice snipes. And the Reaper barely escapes on 3 HP as well. Will heal up. And does delay so much of that creep. I mean, 2 tumors is pretty huge here for the first Reaper. From here, BabyMarine, he does try to get away, but Link Speed kicks in. And the Reaper is hunted down. The Reaper does thankfully fall. There's the add-on swap, so reacted Hellion into that add-on swap into Banshee. Do we invest into Cloak? Do we commit that much harder? And now Banshees are on the way. Standard follow-up. Hellions, they give the Terran player map control. They allow BabyMarine to deny creep to keep the Zerg player at bay. Meanwhile, the Banshees, they can shut down Roach base play and harass the mineral lines as well. And the Cloak is being researched. BabyMarine can mean that much more. Dips in with those Hellions. Queens are in position. Oh, as BabyMarine, he does catch one of those tumors. Tumor goes down. Meanwhile, the Overlord dives in. Is going to be a bit of a sacrifice, but Mixu, he does get a full scout. He does get eyes on the 111. He saw the researching tech lab. He knows that Banshees are coming. He is aware. And he should soon be getting ready with those spores. Now, thankfully, we're back in Legacy of the Void and you no longer need Evo Chambers. That's a reference to this morning. If you missed it, I did. It was a wild time. Basically, this morning we were casting a Wings of Liberty tournament, and Mixu was playing in it. And back in Wings of Liberty, you needed an Evo chamber before making a spore. And look, let's just say that Banshees, they had their way with Mixu. It was it was not a pretty sight, Pat. It was not a pretty sight. Meanwhile, this time Hellions, they dive past the Queens. The boys are being pulled. A drone's gonna be going down. This is becoming critical damage. 11 drone kills. We get more. We do. Getting to 12. Barely not 13. Banshee has arrived, going for the expansion. Spores repositioning. Lynx are going to be able to clean up. They shut down the Hellions. Banshee going to be forced back, but the damage was done. That's 12 drones. And we're not done. BabyMarine, he's going to be committing here into something more, into something greater. That's a second and now a third factory. Magfield accelerators on the way. Hyperflight rotors as well. We're embracing Battle Mech. Not your regular Battle Mech either. Battle Mech alongside Speed Banshees and continued Banshee production. Oh boy. This is a style that was popularized last year by Ryung, by TY as well. I say last year. Actually, I want to say maybe even towards the end of 2023 into early 2024. Did have its stint for a while. Is that much more committed, true. Especially with those Banshees. Hellions, they threaten the dive. So far, Mixu is keeping up. And Mixu has yet to confirm what's going on. He's yet to confirm. I don't see a Roach Warren. He's going into Ling Pain. Which can kind of work here, but it's not going to be the most lava efficient. As ideally, you want to embrace Roach production. Ling pokes in, Baleen run by getting set up. Does get eyes on the base. And here we go, the Cyclone is revealed. Now Mixu knows. He sees the Cyclone. Banshee's dipping in between the bases. Oh. Going for the Queen. Clutch chance used, but the Queen does go down. Ooh. A Queen for a Banshee, better trade for Mixu. Getting up a second Banshee as well. And BabyMarine here extends, throws too much away, is going to be forced back. And behind this, here comes that Baleen run by. But last BabyMarine, he does realize in time, he does react, does pull away, and will save his workers. Solid reaction here from the Terran. Pulls away in time. Getting to Blue Flame. Macfield. Armory is done for +1. Double Armory even. For double upgrades. And now we get that Roach Warren. Now, my biggest concern is how delayed the Roach Warren is. This army from Mixu is going to be quite fragile. BabyMarine dives in. Mixu going for a counterattack. He's going for the natural. The Hellions, the Cyclones, just, oh, they're going to get surrounded. Oh no! They get trapped. They get trapped. Bailing's towards the mineral lines. SV is going to be going down. There's only so much that BabyMarine can do as he tries to pull away massive connections. Workers are falling. Breaking through the wall, the army races back home. 24 SCV kills. Now, thankfully, BabyMarine, he does save his third. His mineral line, I mean, but I can't say the same for the natural. His 24 workers is insane, almost kills the 4th. Another Mamba is being set up. And Mixu is buying time and getting into more roaches. Again, thankfully, because he forced the entire army back home, he gets away with it just purely Link Bane, and roaches are building up. Not just roaches, infestors as well. Infestors on the way. Link's getting caught out. Main army pushes right down the center. And will deny the expansion. Fifth base is denied. Not bad. Mixu, he has run up to his ideal. He's got 88 workers. From here, he can just focus on purely roach production. Oh. As Mixu does catch out the Hellions. Tries to, at least. They still trade very well. They're trying to hunt down the Link Bane. Diving into a mid. Oh no! Diving into the middle line. Drone's going down. Army's out of position. Mixu is racing on over. And he will lose 10 more workers. Ay, ay, ay. I say 10, 12. Oof. Just 12. I mean, still almost a mineral line. And she's dive in. Gonna be zoned away by the fungal. They are zoned back. Last cloak gets activated, hunting down more queens. Mixu did well for himself, and Mixu, he is maxed, true. He is maxed out. BabyMarine, what does he have at home to defend? He's got a couple of tanks. Tank production has begun, getting to more tanks, less cyclones. Hellions are building up. Now, pushing into an offensive line here, defending Terran and making Terran is not going to be easy. But Mixu, he does have the supply to work with. Might have enough. Mixu is knocking down those rocks. He's moving in. He's pushing into a tank line, but getting into the mineral line as well. It's 3 SCVs, the tanks are exposed. He gets 1, he gets 2. Meanwhile, the army coming in from behind, but not that many cyclones. Does catch out some of those infestors though. Oof, gets 1. It's 1 infestor. The tanks, they barely hold. The base is evacuated, and BabyMarine, he will save most of his SCVs. Save his workers at the same time. Banshees, they kill a base. They get an expansion. Oh, can he pile down the CC? Oh, can he get it? Oh my god, he can. Third base goes down. BabyMarine is stuck on 3 bases. And one of them's a planetary, not an orbital. From here, Mixu can just keep remaxing. Some of these fights have been inefficient, but it's fine. Mixu, he has the economy, so he can just rebuild, remax, keep trying to knock down that 3rd or 4th base, and win from there. Starve the Terran out. Meanwhile, catching out some of those queens. Getting 1, getting 2. 2 queens for a Banshee. Oh! Fungal's brutal. Mixu does shut this down. He's holding, he's recovering. Greater Spire's on the way, working towards Broodlords. Vipers are amassing. Infestors as well. Mixu refining his army. And BabyMarine, he's stuck at home. Now, the big moment here for Mixu is going to be his eventual transition into Corruptor, just because there's very limited anti-air for Broodlords. There's tanks, there's a couple of Cyclones, there's Banshees, but there's no real anti-air here with Vikings or Thors. The Cyclone count is very limited. So BabyMarine, he is not ready for Broodlords. To be fair, Mixu isn't either. Like, the Greater Spire did just complete, but he has no Corruptors. He has to trade. Here we go, he dives in. Lightning clouds of tanks. And breaks through the initial siege line, and he's going for the planetary. Bailey's A crash in. Ooh, massive connections. 16 SCVs, and he might not even need the Broodlords. Yeah, he has enough. He breaks the 3rd. Takes down 21 SCVs. Denies the expansion. BabyMarine does get another base, does get another third, true. He's got a line of tanks. And Mixu, he still has yet to invest into Corruptors. He's remaxing with more Roaches, more Vipers. And again, even if these fights are inefficient, like they're still fine. Like Mixu, he's got plenty of money, plenty of resources, plenty of workers mining, of course. 93 drones. He can do it again. He can just keep ramming his face against this wall, and the wall is gonna break. It's happening. Once again, boys being pulled away. Families they ram into a CC. They get a kill. Pushing forward. Again, the tank blows are brutal on the Roach Ravager. But we have 14 more Roaches on the way. More Roaches. Do you think it'd be good to have just 1 or 2 Broodlords to attack from afar? No. You'd want as many Broodlords as possible. If you attack this with only 1 or 2 Broodlords, then you trigger your opponent. Oh no, it's the Vipers Rebellion. But you trigger the Terran player that you let them know that you have Broodlords, and then they get ready for it, right? Then they start getting into forward production. And then you kind of miss your like Broodlord switch advantage. But we don't even need it here. As Mixu breaks through, takes down 3 of those tanks. And again, he can just brute force the issue here. Resetting the tank count, busting into the mineral line. GG gets called. And Mixu will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Again, a very intense back and forth. We had BabyMarine roasting up mineral lines and roasting up drones. At the same time, we had massive Lingbane run-bys getting into mineral lines and killing SCVs at the natural. In the end, Mixu did get the better of BabyMarine. He was able to cripple the economy, and with that crippled economy, he was able to build himself up and just maintain that momentum. It can be a scary thing if the Terran player takes an economic lead. If the Terran player is able to be up in bases or up in workers, it's terrifying. But if you're able to stop them ahead of time, then you can take advantage of them. I'm a little bit surprised that we saw mech here on... Actually, I was gonna say I was a little bit surprised that we saw mech on Whispers of Gold, but the style of mech makes sense. Basically, initially it does seem like the Terran player BabyMarine, he wanted to try to go for an earlier kill, and wanted to try to snowball out of control early on. He failed to do so. The reason why I bring this up is because Whispers of Gold is a very difficult map to defend on. That 3rd and 4th base, there's no real high ground advantage that you have on some of these other maps, so it is easier to break this. It is harder to turtle on Whispers of Gold compared to Abyssal Reef, Neon Violet Square, Amygdala. Like, there are other maps where it is easier to defend, more so than the map that we just saw. But that's only if like the goal was to go for like a longer like turtle style. I don't think that was the goal for BabyMarine. The tell there is Hyperflight Rotors. Like, the fact that he was going for Battle Mech plus Hyperflight Rotor Banshee tells us that he wanted to pull apart his opponent. Like, he wanted to try to break Mixu ahead of time. Alas, wasn't able to. Alas, was not able to, and here we go. We're getting into our next game, and we'll see if BabyMarine can bring it back. As we're loading into a much larger map, we're loading into Frostline. Let's go. Here we go. A crowd to deal with a Banshee wouldn't be bad either. As we mentioned before, like, the reasoning why you wouldn't want to reveal like a Corruptor here or there is because you kind of take away that surprise factor that you're going for, especially in a longer game. Like, a Broodlord switch can end the game. A Broodlord switch can win you the game, I should say. And if we had a more kind of like even game state, if we had a more defended BabyMarine who was able to fortify himself on 4 bases, then that's something that you want to try to like keep in your back pocket and make sure that your opponent's just making like Hellions and tanks and Banshees. But here we go. Here we go. We're getting to our next game, and spawning in the top right hand corner of Frostline, we have the blue Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Lem. Leading the series 1-0, it is Mixu. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Italian Terran player, the red Terran representing Streamer Zone, down in the series, but it's the best of 5. It is BabyMarine. And the question becomes, are we going to see some Marines? Are we going to see some Marines? Are we going to play some Bio or go back into Mech? Welcome one and all to Frostline. We should talk about the maps here because, again, I do feel like they do impact the game quite a bit, especially with the play styles that we see, with what works, with what doesn't work. The map is large, true. It's a large map, very large, but similarly to Whispers of Gold, very exposed bases. This third base here, the fourth base as well, very wide ramps, very open bases as well, so it is a lot more difficult here to defend. Terran players we have seen have to invest heavily here into SimCity. You need a lot of depots, you need a lot of CCs, turrets, sensor towers. Likewise, isn't just about the size of the bases themselves, but how far away they are from each other, as it can be quite difficult to rotate between the third and between the fourth base. So trying to turtle and get into a longer game state can be difficult on Frostline, but I would imagine, just like the previous game, BabyMarine wants to be more aggressive and more active. He wasn't quite able to get the damage he was hoping for in game 1, but we could see something quite different coming into game 2 here. We could see him be more successful even as well. We'll see. We shall see. As Reaper dips in. Oh my god, almost gets surrounded. Does pull away. Gets a couple of lings. Not bad, 2 lings go down. Oh, he wants a tumor, he won't quite get it. And is forced back. This time, a bit of a better defense. As a reminder, last game this Reaper killed 2 tumors. Was able to snipe 2 creep tumors here at the natural. In game 1. This time, forced back. Likewise, we do have our third CC on the way. Once again, economic build here by BabyMarine. As we saw, this could lead into Mech. I don't know if it's really wise to rely upon Mech multiple times in a row. We'll see. It could be BabyMarine's preferred style. He does get the tumor. Not bad. Takes down the tumor, pulls away. And our eyes are on his setup here. We're waiting for that tech lab, waiting for the add-on swap, waiting for the Banshee follow-up. This hack lab is on the way. Behind this, just looking to secure ourselves. Third base is getting up and running. We're just going to be droning up and settling in. Now, similarly to the previous game, these Hellion dives have a lot of potential here on Frostline. So we could see BabyMarine just send it and dive in once again. I mean, it wasn't too bad of a move in the last game. And there's that add-on swap. We have those Banshees. So far, the same build. So far, just 3 CC into Hellion Banshee, just like the previous game. We'll keep an eye on the production. We'll see if we go for an extra factory. As we have the tech lab here on the racks. Should be working towards those upgrades, towards Stim. Once again, snipes the creep tumor. Very nice moves here by BabyMarine. Tech lab is done. Catching out another tumor. The queen itself getting quite low as well. Oh, he gets the queen. Very nicely done. Queen does fall. Banshees are backing up. Would you see Mixu going lair first? Safe play here. Lair first should lead into a faster Baneley nest into Ling Bane. Oh, and there it is. We have the add-on swap. We keep the tech lab on the racks. It is going to be Stim into 2 more racks. It's going to be Bio, not Mech this time. Let's go. Not Mech. Still diving in. There's no wall. The wall's 1 second too late. Drone's going to be going down. And do we have any links? 0 links to defend. The drones are lining up. They're getting roasted. Oh my god. They do get roasted. This queen in position does hold the line. It gets knocked out of position though. Hellions, they flood into the main. They're still not done. 10 drone kills and counting. Ooh, getting up to 12. Getting up to 13, 14. Can we get up to 20? No shot. No shot. Okay, Lings are flooding in. Thankfully, 16 drone kills. 16 drones. That's 1 entire mineral line worth of workers. Very worthwhile here for BabyMarine. Bearing in mind, behind this, getting to Bio. Getting to Marines. Banshees have arrived. And again, Mixu, he was caught with his pants down. He did not have any links to stop that dive. Just being a little bit too greedy there. So far, BabyMarine looking good. Looking good, looking strong. The pressure is now on Mixu to get some kind of counter damage. He's getting a 4th base. He's getting a 4th. There's that Bailey Nest. Bailey Nest, the Lever Chamber, upgrades on the horizon. The Banshees, they look for another queen. Oh, and they barely don't get it. Queen survives. Banshees back off, they rotate. Focusing on map control, clearing up all these tumors. And BabyMarine, he's just building up towards that next step. Now, the one downside here of losing all those Hellions is that you lose map control. Typically, you lose map control, but that's what the Banshees is doing here. They shut down almost every active tumor. Creep is receding. It's on Mixu here to rebuild. So he's trying to maintain the center of the map. BabyMarine taking extra gases. This tells us that BabyMarine, he's not going for a 3-base all-in. He's taking extra gases, a 2nd factory, and of course a 4th TC. So he's building up towards a 4th base. As he moves out, Mixu getting ready to move in. A ling run by set up here for Mixu. Banshee does spot. The reinforcements back at home. BabyMarine, he holds. He does hold, he does defend, losing 1 SCV. At the same time, trying to catch out these queens. And Bailing speed is not done. Bailing's gonna roll in. Oh, they crash into the tank. Not the best trades. Nice target firing out of BabyMarine, not bad. Targets down 3 extra Bailings. And they can just keep trading. Mixu, I'm not so sure we should be out here. Bailings are targeted. Link's gonna be falling as well. Much more efficient trade here by the Terran. Yeah, and Mixu is in trouble. He does plummet in supply. Banshee catching out queens. And BabyMarine, he just keeps pushing. He just keeps moving in. 0 Bailings already. Likewise, though, there isn't that much here on the ground. Mixu, he does hold. Mixu, he holds on. He's taking a lot of hits, taking a lot of damage. No detection. Oh no! No detection. Gets another queen. And another. 2 more queens and a drone. BabyMarine, he's reinforced. He's moving out once again. And Mixu is in trouble. 1-1 is done. Once again, Mixu getting ready for another ling run by. What about the main defense? That is a lot of Bailings. Lings, they hit the expansion. They force a lift. Mixu, he gets supply blocked. Losing more queens. Oh god. Does get a Banshee. The reinforcements back at home. BabyMarine, he bleeds out a couple of SCVs, but the Wire Army, it's going to take down the 4th. Expansion falls. Mixu's trying to collapse on this army. There's not enough support for the Bailings though. And a hot pickup. And he will clean up these veins. Bailings are doing trade well. As BabyMarine, he's getting ahead. He's pulling ahead here. He's got the economy. He's got the supply. He's got the army. Has yet to begin 2-2. He does have an armory. But has yet to begin his upgrades. So Mixu, he will have 2-2 over his opponent. But will that matter? Mixu once again fighting off a creep. He will get the tanks. Both tanks are going to be... Oh, no, he doesn't get it. Doesn't get the final tank. GG gets called. At the same time, BabyMarine moving out on the right-hand side, and BabyMarine will tie up the series at 1-1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Whew, again, a very aggressive style out of BabyMarine. It all began with the Hellion dive. The Hellion dive, remember, it killed 15 drones. 15 workers went down. That is a full mineral line worth of workers. Likewise, it wasn't just that. The Banshees, well, what I found most interesting is that the Banshees, they weren't being used to harass. If you remember, they weren't going into mineral lines, they weren't killing drones, they were denying creep. The downside, the the deficit or what you lack when you throw away all your Hellions is you lose map control, because now you have no Hellions to fight the queens, to delay the creep, to clear up some tumors, and to maintain map control. So as they were gone, I assumed that, okay, well, at least the Zerg player, at least Mixu, can start to spread all of his creep and take all of his bases. But the Banshees were doing an amazing job at just denying all of that, at maintaining their position, at making sure that BabyMarine, he was safe and sound back at home, and was able to build up towards that follow-up, towards that push. And because of the Banshees, there was barely any creep that we could really work with. Mixu, likewise, also took some really rough fights off of creep as well. He did look a little bit desperate to try to kill those tanks multiple times, whether it came to the first push on the south, and of course the later push as well. And after those rough fights, GG well played. BabyMarine, he does overwhelm. And that leads us into game number 3. Let's go. Leads us into game 3. Going to be loading into ley lines. Here we go. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of ley lines, we have the blue Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg from Finland being forced into a tied series. We'll see if we can bring back. It is Mixu. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Italian Terran player, the red Terran. Ooh. Representing Streamer Zone, it is BabyMarine. Here we go. Whew. Oh boy. Okay, so we've seen quite a lot out of our Terran player here. Remember, in game 1, mech. In game 1, we had battle mech, very committed battle mech as well. Game 2, we got to experience a more standard bio composition as well. Bearing in mind that BabyMarine, he wasn't all in. Like, he wasn't all in. He was being very assertive with his pushes, that is true. But remember, he had a 4th base behind it. He had gases at his 3rd. He had a 2nd factory finishing up as well. He had the armory for 2-2. Like, he was, working on those later stages of the game. He was just able to pull Mixu apart. And we'll see how he approaches Mixu on ley lines. Likewise, we'll see if Mixu can keep up. Time and time again here, we've seen BabyMarine wreak havoc with those Hellion dives. It happened both, not just in game 2, in game 1 as well, where BabyMarine, he was able to get a plethora of drone kills early on by those Hellions. So Mixu, we gotta play it safe. We gotta be careful here as we get into game 3. Now to have our Overlord moving out. Going to be our initial hatch gas pull. Did have the extractor trick early on, but outside of that, nothing too crazy from our Zerg player. Likewise, BabyMarine just racks expand. And we'll see if BabyMarine does deviate from his opener, because his opener has been the same. Every game, 3cc into Banshee. Every game so far. I mean, it's standard for a reason, right? It is the meta. It's just a very safe way to open up. Very economic as well. As the first Reaper has arrived. 3rd hatchery is going to be delayed. Oh, we're going for the eBay block as well. Oh, which means the drone. The drone is under fire. The drone is in danger. SCV goes down. Here comes that Reaper. eBay gets cancelled, and the drone is gonna fall. Tries to get out of here. Up! Oh my god, barely morphs in that gas geyser. Whew. Does morph in the gas. Does survive, but the 3rd base is denied. As a 2nd drone comes in. Queen welding as well. Oh no! Drone goes down. Can he get 2? No shot. Gets 1 for now. Gets 1 worker. Mixu finally expands, but he had to fight for his 3rd base. Lost the drone in the process. Alas, he did kill at SCV. It was kind of a 1-to-1 trade, kind of. But not just that, Mixu is going to be stuck on 2 bases that much longer. So a nice start here for BabyMarine behind this 3rd CC before Starport. Likewise, standard opener out of our Terran. Same opener he's gone for every single game so far. No reason to deviate. But we'll see where he takes us from here. He does have momentum. Building up those Hellions. I think something we can almost say for certain is that he's going to go for a Hellion dive. I mean, it's been successful. It's been quite successful here. 2 games already. I'm hoping that Mixu does start walling off. with at least his Evo chambers. Still a little bit early for that. The first wave of Hellions have arrived. They should just poke in. They poke in, they're deflected. So far so good. Banshee production has begun. Once again going for the add-on swap into Cloak Banshee. And in bold move here by Mixu. Unlike some of the previous games, like previously in the last game, we saw Lair first. This time, double Evo Chamber first. So double Evo Chambers, this is for faster upgrades. This is to delay the Lair and likewise delay Baneling speed as a result, as the initial wave of gas is going to be spent on these upgrades instead. Actually, I say that, this might just be for SimCity. Because of that Lair, which I was not expecting. So in a way, this is almost like an inefficient start at a Mixu, going for double Evo Chamber into Lair, because as you can see, like, there's no upgrades, right? We have delayed upgrades here for Mixu, but it does look like it's just so we can start to wall off and be safe. Now we get +1 carapace, still no +1 melee, but he just wants SimCity, like he just wants a wall, which that's fine, it's fair, it's fair. Like after game 1 and game 2, like I understand, it makes sense. Creep is going to be going down. BabyMarine maintaining himself. Behind this, we have Stim on the way. Double eBay into Bio. Not Mech. Gets another tumor. And this time, Mixu, he won't lose 15 drones. This time, he won't lose any workers. I mean, he lost one at the start of the game. But he's secure. And now we can get into 1-1 upgrades. Now we can throw down the Baneling S. Again, Baneling S is a little bit later here because of all these upgrades, but he's going to be working towards Baneling speed. So far, so good. We're doing okay. Well, speaking of SimCity, there we go. Evo Chamber gets thrown down. Hellions are deflected. Banshees, they hit the 4th. And the Queens are not too far away. They can respond. And they can and will respond. Mixu, he will hold. Oh! Killing one of the Banshees. Very nice pick off. One Banshee does go down. Meanwhile, do you see what I see? That is a very fast infestation pit. Interesting. We're headed towards what looks to be almost a 7-minute lair timing. If so, are we going Ling Bane into Ultra? I mean, we have seen that work wonders here on ley lines. The bases aren't necessarily the most secure bases, so rushing into Ultras can work. Until then, though, BabyMarine, he's moving out. He does move out. Wants to deny the 4th. BabyMarine just trying to sneak up on the base. If a stage bit is done, show us that Hive. Yep, there it is. Hive is on the way. 7-minute high timing. This does scream Lingbane Ultra. Now, there are some pros and cons to this kind of style. We'll get into it. For now, Marines, they dip in. They deny creep. They're setting up for the assault. As more reinforcements are on the way. It's not going to be an easy hold here for Mixu, but Baneling speed is about to finish. Gases are being denied. More reinforcements have arrived, though. As we have another drop coming in. And the surround is scouted. BabyMarine, he knows. Here's where the attempted surround. Tank sieging up. A little bit late to siege. Yeah, he's going to be forced to pick up. Mixu, he will shut this down. Takes down one. Tank takes down the other as well. Yeah, there's no saving this. And with this, he holds. Mixu, he does hold. Did lose gas geysers, that is true, but didn't lose anything else. Still waiting for that Ultra Den. Ultra Cavern even. Oh, nice target firing. So far, Mixu, he's holding. Forcing the army back. Hive is now done. So Mixu is spreading creep. Adrenal has started. And there it is. As we mentioned, there's that Ultra Cavern. Again, the 7-minute Hive did scream it. And when it comes to this style here from Mixu, the downside of this, as you can imagine, is the anti-air. There's no Spire, there's no Hydras, there's nothing that can shoot up. So drop play can be difficult to keep up with. And that's what the Vipers are for. So the only real consistent anti-air that's going to be here are the Queens and Parabombs. Parabombs are with these Vipers. Likewise, the army is also very fragile. It's very vulnerable to Widow Mines, but there are no mines here for the Zerg or for the Terran. Leadmate crashes in, shuts down the bio, takes down the tank. As Widow Mine production has begun, we have drilling claws on the way, but is it too late? Denies the expansion. At the same time, here comes the Ling Bane, going for the bases, going for the mineral line. The SCVs up. Oh my god. Tries to pull away. Alas, 16 SCVs going down. Cripples the economy. There's nothing left here. 20 SCVs going down. He's still not done. BabyMarine getting desperate. Goes for a big counterattack. Will take down the expansion. Comes in from both sides. Hatchery goes down. Not bad. Takes down a base, but he needs more. This does need more damage. Mixu still in a 4-base economy. And BabyMarine down to 51 SCVs. Power bombs getting some damage done. Medevacs get low. Widow Mines are now setting up, but again, like, this is after the damage. This is after the loss of the SCVs. Slings are poking in. We have an Infestress on the way. Oh, the light shots! Oh my god, massive connections! First initial good mine here on the Lings, but yeah, we need more Widow Mines, we need more shots. As Mixu is making his way towards that middle line, GG gets called, he overwhelms, there's no answer for the Ultras, and Mixu takes game number 3. Whew. GG. Mixu does take a lead in the series. Again, it can be very risky trying to rush into Ultras in such a way, but he was able to gain map control. He was able to get economic damage as well. He was able to cripple BabyMarine before Widow Mine production really got going. We saw that the mine shots were good, but again, they were towards the end of the game. They were after BabyMarine, his economy was crippled. And again, by the time the Ultras arrived, there was no scouting from BabyMarine. He didn't know that there were Ultras on the way, didn't know that he needed Ghosts, that he needed a more defensive setup back at home. GG. GG, well played. Ling Bane Ultra is a fun style to play for sure, but can be quite difficult to get to. Mixu, he makes it work. And now Mixu is one game away from advancing on into the next round. One more game. As a reminder, this is a best of 5. Meanwhile, BabyMarine has to fight back here and now to force the ace match. Let's go. Let us go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Amygdala, we have the Finnish Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, who leading the series 2-1, one game away from advancing on into the next round. It is Mixu. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Terran player from the land of Italy, representing Streamer Zone. It is BabyMarine. We go. Whew. Again, BabyMarine, he is going to be up against the wall here. One more loss and the series is over. But welcome one and all to Amygdala. Amygdala, one of the larger maps in the map pool. Very defendable maps as well. We have seen some forms of aggression here, especially if we expand towards the opponent and if we go for like an 8 racks or something like that. But outside of that, we should be seeing some longer game states. I'll be honest though, we haven't really seen too many ZVTs on Amygdala. Thankfully, thanks to the format, thanks to the best of 5, we're able to experience some of these otherwise vetoed maps in the map pool. So we're able to experience a bit of a rare one here on Amygdala. Let's go. I'm sad to see how BabyMarine will approach this. We have already seen BabyMarine play mech earlier, true, and I could see mech working here as well when it comes to slowing the game down and turtling up, but at the same time, that doesn't seem to be BabyMarine's kind of go-to play style. That's not really his vibe. Even though he played mech in game 1, it was battle mech, right? It was very aggressive, very in your face. It was battle mech with mass speed Banshee as well, with hyperflight rotors. So I don't really expect to see like a more tank heavy mech style here. But maybe we'll keep an eye on the Terran. Now is moving out. Is moving out across the map, trying to get a read on what Mixu is up to. So far, standard opener, hatch gas pool. Likewise, Rax expand out of BabyMarine. So far, so good. As your Overlord dips in, it's going to be zoned away. Reaper likewise poking forward, and the dance has begun. BabyMarine, he is looking for a drone. He shouldn't find one. We have extra lings on the way from Mixu. Oh my god, he wants... Oh no! Doesn't quite get the tumor. The Reaper gets shut down, and we have more lings on the way. It's going to be 9 in total here. And Mixu is moving out. He's moving out across the map. Marine's massing up back at home. Mixu, is he going to commit? We're going to have 14 lings. Oh, he gets a, oh god, he gets supply blocked. Brutal supply block here for Mixu. Regardless, is committed. Is moving out, waiting for ling speed. As ling speed is finishing up in a couple of seconds. Meanwhile, BabyMarine going for a 3cc setup, 3rd into starport, economic opener. It's what he's gone for every game so far in the series. And here comes the dive. He wants a Hellion. Good reaction so far. Pulls a Hellion away. Does drag the army into the main. Marine goes down. Second Hellion does arrive. And so far, 1, 2 SCVs going down. Decent damage. Getting a couple of SCVs. Hellions, they should clean up here in the main. Their command center is gonna not be delayed. Whew, just in time. Does finish. But still, that's 6 SCVs, a gas geyser, almost a 7th SCV towards the end. Oh my god. As it looks like he will barely get the final SCV. 7 in total, not bad. 7 SCVs for how many? For 14 lings. I would say a better trade for Mixu. Did get supply block, he will slow down a little bit, but for the most part, a better trade. And behind this, we're droning. Behind this, we're droning up. Now, what I'm most concerned by here is that he is going to trigger a counterattack. Hellions are building up. This time, no add-on swap. There's no tech lab here for the add-on swap. We have a Liberator on the way instead. So it's going to be Hellion Lib harass here from BabyMarine. And this should lead into faster stim. Because the stim isn't spending any time on the starport, that means that because the tech lab isn't spending any time on the starport, we can start stim earlier than normal. Can start building up. Yeah, there it is. Stim is on the way. Stim is on the way. BabyMarine's being active. He has to get some kind of counter damage. The pressure is on. Doesn't quite get the tumor. Not quite. We have more Maxes on the way. 3rd CC being taken. Oh. As the Liberator is spotted. Mixu once again going double Evo chamber first before the lair. This time actually investing properly into those upgrades. Aliens, they're looking for a dive. They didn't quite commit. Mining is going to be denied. BabyMarine still not quite finding the damage he's looking for. It's forced back. And is going into buy it. Of course, with that faster stim is going into mass marine production. 3rd TC on the way. Now on location. And where does our Terran lead us from here? Now, after that early game damage, I'm curious if he's willing to... If he's willing to go for a 3-base all-in. I'm referring to an 8-Rax. Not taking gases and skipping a 4th CC. Keep an eye on him. For now, he's getting up to 5 Raxes. 5 Raxes so far. Mixu has been expanding away from him, though. So it's going to be difficult to really keep the momentum going. It's not going to be easy. as he's just been maintaining himself. Mixu once again going for a much faster infestation pit. I say faster. By now, the hive would have already been on the way, so a little bit later here from Mixu this time than previously. Getting to Ling Bane. Lings, they get into the mineral line, and they get 2 SCVs. Once again, pretty good damage. And gases are being taken. Gases are being taken. This is the sign here of things to come. That BabyMarine should be working towards a second factory and towards a 4th CC. There's a goal, true. Goal bases are available. That could be a factor to bounce back in this game. But it looks like BabyMarine, he shouldn't be going for an all-in. Yeah, there's the second factory, and there's the 4th CC. So he's building up. Hive is on the way for Mixu. There's no hydrogen. It looks like once again we're headed towards ultras. Does feel like another ultra rush out of the Zerg. Nice trades. Shaming of Lings. Hellions, they do get into the mineral line. Oh my god. It's much later, but somehow, some way, he does get in. So, Bailey can crash on forward. Only 6 drones. That could have been so much worse. 6 workers going down. Still good damage though from BabyMarine. Likewise moving in once again. Unscattered. Liberator still alive from earlier on. I spoke too soon as it's finally going to go down. Takes down a queen alongside it. Drilling claws on the way. This time it's an earlier transition into Widow Mines. As Bailings are going to be targeted down. Very nice pickups. And here comes the main push. And again, BabyMarine is throwing down 3 more axes behind this. 4th CC is already done. But this bio army is still terrifying. There's that Ultra Cavern. So once again, Ling Bane into Ultra. Did make a couple of safety Ravagers at least. Viper production has begun. But the end goal here for Mixu is Ultras once again. Just to get into those Ultras. Main army's gonna, oh no! Main army's gonna be clashing. He stems away. Whew, just in time. Oh my god, that could have been disastrous. Takes 1 Baleen to the face, just 1. The Marines, they survive. BabyMarine coming in with a push. Gets a queen, gets 2. 2 queens go down. Main army forced back. Oh, there's no room in the medivacs. The tanks are exposed. I guess unload. Otherwise, tries to unload, does save the tanks. Very clutch moves here out of BabyMarine. It's one of those things where unfortunately he had to kick out the Marines to save the tanks. Feels bad, man. As Marines are more expendable. We can get out, right? We can leave, right? No. There's no room for you. Not anymore. Get out. As drop play does continue, gets into the main. Drone's going to be going down. And the tanks do reinforce. Bio army busting into the main, going for the tank itself. Can he get the Ultra Cavern? He cannot. Oh, actually it's going to be close. Oh, no shot. Oh my god, how much? 1 HP. The 1 HP Ultra Cavern. Dives on the right hand side as well. Takes the fungal to the face. Oh my god. The 1 HP cavern. It lives. It's regenning. Oh, and BabyMarine, he's hurting. He's hurting. He's in a lot of trouble here. Back at home, what is it to defend? There's a tank with some Widow Mines. Lings, they dive in. Decent mine shots. So 1 left. Doesn't go up. Ooh, does go up on the Bailings though. Bailings go down. Ultras, they ram into the tanks. And Mixu, does he barely have enough to break through? Nice kiting here out of BabyMarine. Lose another tank. Bailings, they smash in, they shut down the CC. Yeah, 17 workers falling. 17 SCVs, the 3rd base as well. BabyMarine down in workers, down in economy, supply blocked. Ay. And Mixu, he can make ultras. He can keep making ultras. He's good to go. And things are looking bleak. Things are looking bleak for the Terran. He just can't make anything. Even behind him, there's upgrades. Liberators, they are wreaking havoc. He's down, what, 70 supply. Oh, does catch one. Does get 2 infestors. 2 infestors go down. The expansion as well. Not bad. Oh, but here come the fungal and the parabomb combo. Oh my god. Does keep them spread, just barely. Barely does spread them out. Barely keeps everything alive. Oh my, look how low this army is. He survives, doesn't lose anything. Doesn't lose anything. 13 drones going down. BabyMarine racing back home. The splits, Pappy, the splits. Even these tanks are barely alive as well. Everything's on its last legs. Things, they rush into the planetary. Mixu not stopping, just rallying in. Going for the base. Biles will connect. And the planetary falls. Planetary does fall. Mixu with an overwhelming army. Mine just being spent. Not bad. Ultra's getting caught in the choke points. Failings as well. Efficient trades for BabyMarine. Takes down the mains, takes down the Ultras. That's still 26 SCV kills. Oh my god. Yeah, at this point, Mixu, he has broken his opponents. There's barely any mining. We have a 1-base setup here for BabyMarine. He's still supply blocked. He can't make anything. And from here, Mixu just has to calm things down, consolidate his army, once again rotating over, make sure there is no expansion. Massive fungal connects. Fungal goes off. Oh my god, the friendly fire as well from the Widow Mine. BabyMarine, he's barely holding on. Mixu has to get the hell out of here. Ghosts have arrived. Catching an Infestor, catching an Ultra. Mixu has to back up. The CCs, they live. They're on fire, but they should be able to land. And behind this, Mixu still just massing on more Ultras. Behind this, he has the gold. He has a gold base, he has a boosted economy, 87 workers. He's got 3-3, Adrenal is done, and he's got both Ultra upgrades. The one thing I would say here is having a Spire. Having a Spire for some Corruptors, have some anti-air against these Liberators, assuming that the Queens aren't going to be able to handle them. They're fine. They shut down the Libs. But it's always good to have a transition into Broodlords if need be. As Mixu, he's looking very comfortable here. BabyMarine muling up. That's a lot of mules. He's maintaining an economy. But GG gets called. Yeah, we're running on Hopium at that point. And Mixu, he will take the series 3-1, advancing on to the next round. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Mixu does claim it. Does claim the series. Does advance on. Congratulations here. Whew, it was very tense, and BabyMarine, he had some good moments himself, of course, but alas, he barely wasn't quite able to snipe certain tech structures, certain buildings as well. Unlike some of these previous games, he wasn't quite able to get the economic advantage that he otherwise would have liked, getting to mineral lands, killing workers, and Mixu, he was able to shut down the army, and able to embrace the mass ultra, and the spellcasters as well. Let's go. GG, well played. Good moves there out of BabyMarine, and he had some really nice control, really nice micro, of course, but he was not able to sustain his economy. And with that, Mixu, he will advance on. My condolences to BabyMarine as he is knocked out of the tournament. And now we're getting ready for our final series of the night.